Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting in order. Please rise for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, no need for roll call. Everybody's present. Item number 1 is approval of minutes. The regular meeting minutes of July 16, 2026 were provided for review. So I need a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of July 16, 2026 as presented.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Call roll.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mrs. Hatcher?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Kowalowski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Motion passed. Audience participation. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address the council on an item that is not on the agenda? Okay. No takers? Before we start presentations, I just want to thank everyone who supported me during the primary election for the county seat. I, like hopefully most of you, are really happy that I lost. Especially after watching some of those meetings every Wednesday. I really love this community. I'm happy I'm still the mayor, so that's over with. We'll move on. We'll move on to the Lansing Lions Club proclamation. So in recognition of the 72nd anniversary of the Lions Club serving our community. So who's here? All the Lions coming up? Or okay. Okay, the Lansing Lions Club was established in August 17th, 1954, and is now celebrating 72 years of serving Lansing and surrounding communities. This club is comprised of volunteers who dedicate their time to the community service through many local efforts as well as through district, state, and international programs. The Lansing Lions Club is known by the community to generously assist with the Mayor's Christmas Tree Program every year, by coordinating a food drive with the Boy Scout Troop 165 and Cub Scout Pack 3165, as well as sorting and preparing the items for distribution to the families. The club has coordinated the annual Easter egg hunt for the community for 27 years, sponsors scholarships for deserving high school graduates every year, and coordinates with other clubs in our community to host blood drives, drug takebacks, and adopt a street efforts. The Lansing Lions Club continues to celebrate among new and long-standing members their proud legacy and commitment to helping others. We, the Mayor and the City Council of the City of Lansing, State of Kansas, do hereby recognize and thank the Lions Club for their support and willing hearts and hands to help make our community a great place to live. Let's support them as they celebrate their 72nd anniversary this year. So first, I'm going to just clap.
He does.
Okay.
He's it.
I'll just stand here. All right. Are there any original members for the 72? I'm just checking. All right. Thank you guys. You want to say something? I mean, okay. I probably missed some of the stuff you do, I know. You guys do a lot of that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, item number 3 is Leavenworth County Port Authority update. The Leavenworth County Port Authority met on July 21st, 2026. Lansing City Representative Dan Clemons attended and provided the meeting agenda, minutes, and reports. So Dan, what do you got?
Well, I'll be talking from, I know you got your packet, from this sheet in the packet. I cover 2 different areas. I'll just say the project name of those that are unique to the USD 469 and give you a little bit of summary on the ones that are in Lansing proper. Project Blow It is one that was is a new one that's in 469, Project Blast, Project Real Estate Search, are all in the Leavenworth Business Technology Park, and they affect 469 if they are successful. Project Onshore is another one that's in 469, that's ongoing. Project Tribe 1, was in Lansing. It's their supplier for vehicle manufacturing. They're looking for 10 to 100 acres within a 90-mile radius of K7, K10 interchange and zone for industrial. So that was submitted by the Leavenworth Port Authority for consideration. Project Vineyard is also in the Leavenworth Business Technology Park, which is 469. Project Preliminary Search is in 469. Project CBRE, they're looking for 300 plus acres, and they have submitted a privately owned area. Project Morpheus is also in Leavenworth. They are a client searching for a site to start manufacturing. They're one of two sites, one in Lansing and one in Leavenworth, was submitted for consideration. Project Mission is in, actually in the city of Leavenworth, but it's in the 469, as is KC Smartport Industrial Site Search. Project Cobra is a site, the consultant helping a manufacturing looking for 100 to 160 acres for a new facility and testing area, and a privately owned area was submitted for that. On the back, Project Cocoon is a KC area company interested in expanding into our area. There was 10 different sites submitted for consideration, Lansing being one of them. Project Tiger was also a Lansing Business Technology Park, which is 469. So a number of them in the 469 area, but there are some in the Lansing area, and of course all of them are in privately owned areas. So just a reminder, the way it goes, if the Port Authority sees something that might be a fit, they contact the city that they're in to make sure that they're zoned correctly and it's something that the city would be interested in. And if they give a thumbs up, then they get the owner, contact the owner. Then if the owner says, yes, I'd be interested in doing that, they submit the packet, and then it follows normal economic development. So any questions?
On the tribe, the one out by K10 and K7?
Correct.
Are you allowed to elaborate any more on that than you were a couple meetings ago?
I
On the
am
one
not.
that 10 to 100 acres?
They haven't committed to it,
Okay.
so they haven't signed a contract, and that's generally when we're on non-disclosure until they sign a contract.
I was more interested on, they've got a wide range of acreage that they're asking for, and they have a wide range of area that they're looking at. I just wondered if it was one facility or a multi-facility. So.
It's my understanding they're looking for multiple sites
Multiple.
because they're not sure that they can get within their area who they're supplying.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for Dan? All right, thanks, Dan. Appreciate the
Yes,
update. Item number 4 is Leavenworth County Emergency Management presentation. Chuck Magaha from Leavenworth County Emergency Management Director will give us a briefing on the emergency management capabilities within the county and how they partner with the city of Lansing to ensure preparedness for the region. So, Chuck. Oh, there you are.
I'm here. Thank you, Mayor and City Council members for the invitation. I'm going to kind of start back. I've been doing this for a number of years, 38 to be exact, and I love my job. It's a challenge every day. So the question that you asked is, how do I interact with the city of Lansing? I do the interaction the same as I would any other city within the county, and they're all inclusive. So think that the Leavenworth County Emergency Management is not just for the unincorporated areas, it's for all inclusive, to include Fort Leavenworth to be part of that. to go back, just I got to ask how much time. I want to be respectful of you folks' time that I got, because I can talk for hours.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that.
We didn't give you a time limit.
Okay.
I mean, we can start the clock if that makes you more.
I'm good at watching the clock. No, just kidding.
All right.
But if a disaster happens in the city of Lansing, how the process works with Kansas State statute through the Kansas Division of Emergency Management, 48929 is the statute to be looking through. But what that does is that gives the power of the city of Lansing to declare a disaster locally for their own community. Understand that disaster starts here and it'll end here. When we're asking for resources and whatnot, they're coming in on your behalf. So when I say that, if you ask for a specific widget and that widget has a dollar figure to it, it's going to be up to the city of Lansing to purchase that or rent it, whatever it might be, through that process. But if there's a disaster here in the city of Lansing, we're going to assist to the best of our capability with what we have within the county. Once I have depleted those resources or that need, what I'll do is I'll reach out to other counties and my mutual aid partners or Kansas City metropolitan area through the Mid-America Regional Council. If I cannot get that specific widget there, I go to the state of Kansas. And how that works within the state of Kansas, I have to go before the Board of County Commissioners on your behalf that we want to declare a disaster for Leavenworth County. And that's all inclusive. So it could be everybody within. It's not just Lansing, even though it might have just affect here. It's going to affect everybody else around it in some shape, form, or another. Once that happens and the disaster is ongoing, we'll work side by side with your staff to make sure that we can get the recovery process back to normal as quick as possible. I've worked with Chief Wayman, I've worked with Chief Gates, and your Public Works Director, Mike Spickelmeyer. Mike can contest that he and I worked side by side on the 2019 tornado. That they say it was the Linwood tornado. It was actually South County when it went through, and we worked tireless hours to bring it back to a recovery process that would bring it back to normal. So there's 4 phases of emergency management, and I'm not here to educate, but just to communicate how we work that. The first part is preparedness, and when I say preparedness, it's training the you folks, it's training the staff, it's training the responders, and the nonprofit folks as well. The Lions Club, I'm glad to see them here, but we would be reaching out to those, we call them VOADs, for volunteer organizations in aiding of disasters, to come assist on however way. You guys are good at making pancakes, I understand. I don't know, but I know the Kiwanis would be part of that. So we'd be looking at the service groups. But when I say that, and I want to get this off before I forget, I have I think it's a G402 class. It's for elected officials, and it's for department heads that I'll be bringing here to your facility. I just got it okayed here tonight. It'll be on September 15th at 2 o'clock. And it's geared toward it specifically to those folks that are in elected positions and your department heads or those second in charge. When we do that invite, it'll be for county and then Lansing, Leavenworth, Baser, so on and so forth for those that are wishing to attend. I did one about 2 years ago, and I think I had 30 folks present then. But long past due, we're going to have it right here in your backyard. So the next part of that is once we get through the preparedness stage, we're going to look into the response. Everybody's good at responding. You know, I don't have to tell Chief Wayman how to write tickets. I don't have to tell Chief Gates on how to put the wet stuff on the red stuff. But it's in fact that when we have a major disaster, I can tell you right now it's going to be 2 days of total chaos. There is no disaster that's going to go smoothly on those first couple days because there's so much going on. You're going to have staff if it happened here in Leavenworth or Lansing, regardless, you're going to have folks and staff that might be affected if a tornado would come through. So we're going to have, that continuity that we need to be working towards on those individuals trying to get here to do what they're supposed to do and not worry about their own residents or families, whatever it might be. So the response we're good at. The next one is the recovery, and that's where we kind of fail. Recovery is when we're trying to bring things back to normal. It's very difficult to, we have a plan for recovery, but what we don't have is the exercise component of recovery. You just can't take and make a disaster to show on recovery. We can walk through it, and that's what we do. We walk through the processing of that disaster on how we can get things back to normal. To kind of put that into perspective, if we have a large enough disaster within the city of Lansing and it becomes a federal declared disaster, there's a lot of paperwork that goes in behind that. And that's where we come into play as far as emergency management, is to help you with that paperwork and that processing when we go through that. And to kind of put that into perspective, on the 2019 tornado that went through, that happened in May. And I know I had a commissioner in my office almost every other day asking where his FEMA money was. Well, the federal government does not get real fast with it. And I put this in the back of your minds for the fact that we received our check for $970,000 on the 22nd of December of 2023. So kind of tell you how quick that process, it is not quick. So what I'm saying is that if you have a specific widget that costs you $100,000, you're going to be on the hook for that $100,000 until the federal government comes through, and then it's a 75-25 split. So that's the recovery side. The next part of it is mitigation. And mitigation is unique in the fact that the city of Lansing participates in the county's mitigation plan. And you have goals and objectives that we go over each November with your staff and the rest of the county to see if you've met those. And every 5 years, we update the mitigation plan. The mitigation plan was just updated this past November of last year. So it's relatively fresh, and it gives us 5 years to reach those goals. If we don't reach those goals, we have to tell the federal government why we didn't reach it. Is it because of cost? Is it because of personnel and things of that nature? I mean, it's a goal, is where we work from it. So that's the cycle. Things to understand is that I'm an office of 2. I've got myself and the deputy director, and I got 50 volunteers. Those volunteers provide severe weather spotting. They also provide communication processing, and when we do outreach to the community. We do a lot of outreach to the community. We just finished up with the county fair. We feel that we've reached about 1,500 people, give or take, in one-on-one, communicating with them. One of the hardest things with the public, and I know the public's watching this, is that they need to be prepared, because if they're not prepared, we can't be prepared. And when I say that, family preparedness is huge when we start looking at that. If we have the opportunity to look at what could possibly happen, I have 18 different hazards that I actually plan for within our emergency operations plan. 18 different hazards, and that does include terrorism. Cyber has really jumped up there to the top side, and it's really hard to get our arms around the cyber side of it, because once you think you got something accomplished, the hackers find another way to get into it. There's 12 communities right now that are suffering with, and you've probably seen it on the news, where their water infrastructure and their wastewater infrastructure has been hacked into. That's huge. That's huge, regardless of what size the community is. And we have to find ways to be able to protect ourselves, and the whole thing comes down to situational awareness. And situational awareness is one of the hardest things to get our arms around, because we live in a very unique world here in the United States, because stuff like this doesn't happen to us on a regular basis. We're free. for the most part when we're looking at this. So when we talk about, opportunities, that's when the bad actors come into play and working through that process. If we had a situation where we have multiple individuals that were in a disaster scenario that were injured and or deceased, pending on the deceasing portion of it, Leavenworth County with the nursing homes, with the funeral home directors we have in the county, we have enough right now that we can handle about 15 bodies, if you will, and of the deceased. If we have to go beyond that, I would reach out to the Kansas City metropolitan area. We have a federal asset that is right here with FEMA Region 7, which is in downtown Kansas City, that we can request refrigerated trucks. We can request the DMOR team to come in, the disaster mortuary team to come in, and they kind of start working through that process. So we're unique here in Leavenworth County because we are part of that MARC region, and we interact with them on a monthly basis. We do that through the Local Emergency Planning Committee, that's the LEPC. We do that through the Metropolitan Emergency Management, the law enforcement, the fire. It all comes together, and we work as a team. Give you an idea, within the World Cup that just passed, I was the plan section chief for the World Cup, and I spent many days down there, 133rd and Holmes, where the command post was actually set up at. And there was a lot of moving parts. It was seamless. I mean, everything from escorting teams to the games themselves. So we felt very fortunate with that. I don't want to continue on here, but I want to make sure that you guys feel comfortable, one, that we're bringing training here, and then the other part where that training will break off is that we'll start working. The county's emergency operations plan is a very large document, and I've provided that to the staff, and you guys have your own emergency operations plan. I've reviewed it. Matter of fact, I was just talking to Chief Wayman the other day, and I don't know where it's at in the process, but I know that they're still working within that process. But think of it as a working document that you guys can utilize within the city as a template, but understand that that all has to combine into the county's emergency operations plan. And it does. It does. Because in the state of Kansas, the only legal document is the emergency operations plan in the 105 counties that we have. That's the only one that's recognized in the state of Kansas as being a legal document. Cities can write, the emergency operations plan, and that's good. That just helps us as far as the county's emergency managers to know that you guys feel that you had a need to build an emergency operations plan within your own community, and that you can address on a regular basis. But with that said, we work with what they call ESFs, emergency support functions, and there's 14 different emergency support functions. With those emergency support functions, after we provide this training, we're going to have training after that that explains what ESF 1, which is transportation, ESF 4, which is fire, ESF 13, which is the law enforcement side, and we bring all those together, and we start educating the folks their roles and their responsibilities of what the emergency operations plan is and how it would happen in the event of a disaster. The county's emergency operations center is located at the county courthouse, but that's not saying that you guys couldn't have one here. Have your own emergency operations center where we would provide that expertise to you folks as well. And we would guarantee that we would have that. We work with the schools, we work with the nursing homes, we work with the penitentiaries. We've got a number of them around. But we have a good working relationship with our partners out there. And I feel very confident, and it's proven itself on COVID. It's proven itself on the tornado that we had through yes, we can handle it. It's going to be rough, but we can handle it. I'm open for questions
Sure.
for you folks.
Anybody got questions for Chuck?
That mobile command center, if we, I know you said we could get one if we want one, have one, but don't know if that's physically or fiscally possible. But is that made available to us? The one you have at the courthouse?
That's our emergency operations center. That's a fixed facility. But we do have mobile capabilities as well. But the answer to that is yes. If we needed to bring that piece of equipment here, I've got a trailer and I've got the big command man truck as well, which also serves as our backup 911 center.
Sir, each program has a strength and a weakness. What would you say Lansing's strength and weaknesses are?
Man, you put me on the spot.
Sorry about
Really?
that.
I think your strength is that I know your department heads for the most part, when it comes down to having to interact. And they reach out to me and I reach out to them. I know that if there's an incident going on, that when Chief Wayman's there, he and I can go face to face and make that decision or whatever and bring it back to you folks for policy. And also, of course, budgetary. But I think the weakness is that to make sure that you have the right people at the table when the incident happens. And I say that for the fact that it'd be real easy for Director Spickelmeyer to be there, and then he takes in all the education portion of it, and then his deputy director may not. And Mike, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but okay. But I've seen incidents where people go, when we have an exercise, they'll come down and they'll have a secretary. And nothing against the secretary, because usually they know more than what's going on than the department head. But that's not the person that we want. We want to make sure that whoever's sitting there can make a decision, because I don't have time for somebody saying, well, wait a minute, I need to reach out to Chief Wayman to make sure that this is okay for us to go, and things to that nature. So I think that might be probably the best way to put that.
Thank you.
Yeah. First of all, Chuck, thank you for coming and briefing us. With the emergency management and especially terrorism, you don't want to get into a lot of things in an open forum because you can show weaknesses or vulnerabilities. I've seen worst case scenario. Some of you have in your inboxes, some of you have on your text messages, a video of something that we put together. I was the lead controller way back when, and 6 weeks later, the truck hit the Amtrak at Trinity Junction. I'm quite sure you're familiar with that. At that time, it was react and save lives. And there were several people that were saved lives that day because of exercises like that one that we put on. And I understand that, things can be drawn out for 2 days, but prior to, if we can plan and we can exercise, that's something that I'd like to see happen. And I'm willing to sit down with you to talk about that, because I still have a few questions. Active shooter, worst case scenario, active shooter at you name it. And I want to make sure that we have all those T's crossed and all those I's dotted, because after the fact, it's not the time to hand out business cards.
That's correct. That is correct.
And I campaigned on making sure that my family and everyone else's family was going to be safe in Lansing, and of course, that encompasses Leavenworth County, because you're the emergency manager. Once again, I appreciate you coming, and I look forward to sitting down with you and asking some questions and making sure that we have a plan going forward with training. And I'm glad to see that we are taking the steps in the right direction, so thank you.
You bet. And my door's always open.
Yeah.
I've got a busy schedule. I say it's always open. I may not be there or not, But if you make an appointment with me or vice versa, I'll be sure to be there
Chuck, I attended you had an active shooter training,
at the school.
been on the huge team where you have school districts, city officials and whatnot, and your trainings were exceptional, so thank you for that. Also, you reach out to Chuck when I had questions about where we were placing our kids during a tornado drill. I don't know if you remember that.
Yep.
And I said, this doesn't seem right where we're placing our kids during the drill. It made no sense. I was right, you confirmed that, and then we came up with a plan. So the reason for telling this to people is because you have always made yourself available to help and to assist. So I always appreciated that.
Appreciate that comment. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Good.
All right.
Thank
Chuck,
you.
thanks so much for coming
Thank you,
tonight. We
folks.
really appreciate the
You bet.
update.
Thank you.
All right, new business. Item number 5 is appointment of Clint. Is it Heistand? Did I say that right? Heistand? You're supposed to spell this for me phonetically, remember? All right. Heistand. To Trade Board of Appeals. Clint submitted an application to apply for the Building Trade Board of Appeals. If appointed, his term would end on April 30th, 2028. So I need a motion to appoint Clint Heistand to the Trade Board of Appeals with the term ending April 30th, 2028.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion besides how you pronounce his name?
Can you be more specific as to what this committee does?
Sure. The Building Trade Board of Appeals hears questions, and to my knowledge, this group has not really met over the past at least 3 years, maybe probably longer, when a contractor will have questions about how the code is being interpreted. Typically, Dan is able to work out an arrangement that it meets to everybody's satisfaction, but if the contractor says, I want to do X, and Dan says, you can't do X like that, and the contractor would want to push that, the process of appeals is to take it to this board. They would review it and come to an agreement that would still meet the intent of the code to be able to.
And there's
maintain
several trades on this board. I mean, so you
There-
have
we
plumbers,
have-
electricians.
We have multiple different boards.
Right.
This is just the
This is
generic
one.
building. We have plumbing, and electric, I believe,
Yeah,
Why hasn't the board met in 3+ years?
because we have not needed it.
nobody appeals. It's
Not
like the
necessary.
Board of
Yeah.
Zoning Appeals, and if they don't get an appeal, they don't meet. It's kind of like,
So
Be that as
Good reason.
we will be convening the board here shortly as we are updating our building codes, but that's another conversation.
any other questions for Josh on that? All right, we have a motion and a second. Call roll.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mrs. Hatcher?
yes,
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
yes.
Mr. Kowalowski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Item number 6, case development in FP 260002. I'm going to say McNeely. I'm just kidding. Acres. McNeil Acres final plat. Proposed subdivision for McNeil Acres final plat located at 131 Ida includes approximately 7.5 acres and divides the property into 2 residential lots. Property is zoned R2 single unit residential and designated as single family residential. Planning Commission recommended approval of the preliminary and final plat and acceptance of the applicable public dedications by the governing body. So I need a motion to approve case DEVFP 260002, McNeil final plat, accept the applicable public dedications, and approve the final plat subject to the conditions recommended by the staff and the Planning Commission. That's a long one.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Want to know where this is? Yeah. I didn't name this that I recall, but
It's a very
I guess it
specific-
needed a name and.
It's
Joe
legal
could-
now.
It is, yeah.
Once it gets recorded, you can't change that.
Yeah. Okay.
I just have an off, I'm gonna need to sign this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I have a motion second. Any more discussion on that? Call the roll.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mrs. Hatcher?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Oh, man, I thought you'd give us a no, so it's kind of like, all right, motion passed. Item number 7 is resolution number B9, 2026, a resolution authorizing the city of Lansing, Kansas to enter into a lease purchase transaction. Bids were solicited from local banks to finance the purchase of the 2026 Case 580 Super N wide track backhoe. It's a long name. Commercial Bank responded with the most favorable rate of 4.59%. The winning terms require annual payments of $48,950.12, with the first of the 3 equal payments coming due on August 12, 2026. So I need a motion to approve Resolution B9, 2026 and authorize the city administrator to execute a 3-year lease purchase agreement in the amount of $140,500 with Commercial Bank Clayton Holdings LLC.
So moved.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any discussion? Mike, are you speaking on this thing? or-
talk about the backhoe and Beth can talk about the finance.
Okay, I mean, any questions for either Mike or Beth on the backhoe? I mean,
We've already
I think
talked
we
about it.
talked about it already. It
Yeah,
just-
the backhoe was approved for purchase, and then
Right.
in order to finance it, we had to go through the purchasing policy.
Okay,
Yeah, it's the person with Whirl Power, and that's Beth, because she gets the check ready.
that's right.
Talk to the money guy. Talk to
Okay.
the money guy.
So we have no questions, so
Well, is this a lease or a purchase? They're just
a lease
two separate
purchase.
things. I mean, a lease, you don't own anything at the end.
It's a lease purchase, so we're making payments, and in the end, we will own it. So
Then that's a purchase.
it is, but that's how the state.
A lease at the end of a lease, when you're done making your payments, you don't own anything. You just turn it back in.
Correct.
well, you
But
could purchase a normal
This
lease.
is the term
car,
the state
yeah.
uses.
Okay.
So we will own this outright after
We will own it. Okay.
We will own
you
it
look
Just
at-
making sure that's clear.
Yes.
Okay.
If you look at our state budget document, there's a whole page for lease purchases. So,
I'm just going like when you lease a vehicle.
It's a
I've leased a
different
couple of vehicles, and
interpretation than a
in that
lease.
lease, you don't own anything. You know,
correct, yeah.
Well, it's your fault.
so. That's why I
Okay,
don't do it anymore.
anything else for Beth?
I hope not.
All right, we have a motion and a second, call roll.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Hatcher? Mrs. Hatcher, sorry.
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item number 8 is approval of addendum number 10 to the city administrator contract. Addendum 10 to the city administrator's employment agreement and compensation package for the 2026 through 2027 year. This addendum adds, modifies, changes, or clarifies the city administrator's employment agreement executed on 11 May 2015 between the city of Lansing, Kansas, and Timothy Bandel, Lansing City Administrator. So I need a motion to authorize the mayor to sign addendum number 10 to the city administrator's contract, providing a financial incentive based on the results of the performance evaluation.
So move.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion?
Shouldn't that say Timothy and Allison?
Yes.
That's the check. I'll be signing that, yeah.
Well played.
Okay. No discussion, call a roll.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mrs. Hatcher?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item number 9 is mayor authorization to sign land title documents. As the city progresses with selling parcels in town center, the closing agent wanted affirmation that the mayor is authorized to sign any and all documents related to town center land sales. This authorization will encompass land sales for the proposed hotel project and the parcels for the future retail project and any future parcels owned by the city. So I need a motion to authorize the mayor to sign closing documents for the sale of land owned by the city of Lansing.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one? Call roll.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mrs. Hatcher?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
This is separate from McNeil Acres, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Town
Mr.
Center.
Mr. Kowalowski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Motion passed. Let's see, department heads, any department heads? Josh has something.
I do.
Gonna remind us of
No,
Brew
so-
Fest. No,
Well,
okay.
we can remind you of Brewfest as well. Yeah. Actually, Leslie went and got the sample cups that will be distributed, the glass sample cups for those
Oh, I
with
thought
the.
Be like those big
Okay, so think smaller.
sample steins.
Think smaller.
Okay.
They're great. They're fantastic.
All right.
They are in our possession, and those are for those who sign up for the highest level. But what I wanted to talk to you guys is about our events as a whole, and then specifically Fall Fest. So what we have been doing over the past couple of years with Denise at the last year or two of her employment with us, and now with Leslie, is we have been making sure that since we are paying for these events out of transient guests, that we are trying to emphasize economic development and right-size them and refocus them on the local community and what we have going on here. So with Fall Fest, that includes the, over the past couple of years, we have had a number of national brands selling windows and other things like that. And so we have made the executive decision to move away from that. And then in regards to that, we are trying to also emphasize the family nature, the Fall Fest atmosphere, a craft show, vendor show of small businesses, micro businesses in the community, trying to re-emphasize that with support from our civic organizations, of course. As a part of that, we have re-emphasized the vendor experience, the family experience, and we are moving away from having individual political candidates have tents at the Fall Fest. So wanted to make you aware of that change. We are, if necessary, and if the parties are interested, we could make tents available for the individual political parties, but that remains to be seen if there's interest and or space as we move out to Kenneth Bernard Park. So just
Why
wanted
did
to
we move?
brief you on that.
Why are we moving to Bernard Park?
So we were requested based off of some upcoming construction, is what we are told from the church, that they wanted to deconflict. There will be equipment and
Good
now stuff in the parking lot that they didn't
Their
want us
property.
here. Yeah, and it's their property. So this is, I think, a good thing. We've wanted to do that. Staff has wanted to do that for a while anyway, to try to experiment out there and see what we could do with that facility as well. So
Josh, I appreciate the explanation. I'd like to clarify, though, it is still okay for candidates to come and interact with.
of course.
Yes.
Yes, just like at Independence Day, there was a couple of candidates, or at least one, walking around, shaking hands and making sure that they're interacting with the community. Please, feel free. We would love to have them.
Candidates and elected officials.
Candidates and elected officials, yes.
Yeah, we're trying to get away from, 12 individual
Yep.
candidate tents. If there is a big, if there's a large request, then I think a good solution is you have a Republican tent, Democrat tent, Libertarian tent. I mean, whoever applies, and they can all kind of put their stuff there and, stand if they want to. But if we run out of room, we may just say, come and bring your flyers and hand them out,
Something to that effect.
or fans. We don't need fans in Fall Fest, but
Yep.
yeah.
Works for me.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Josh, for that update. Any other department heads? City attorney, has he zoomed in?
Yes.
Anything from the city attorney on Zoom?
Apparently not.
There he is. Get the mic working there. I hear,
Report,
I see your mic moving, but
Maybe a chat message might help.
For some reason.
Oh, we
Oh,
hear you.
I heard something.
Go ahead, Greg. We can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I have audio, but apparently I do not have video, but I do not have anything to add, Mayor.
you don't have a lot of stuff, is what you're telling me. Okay. Thanks, Greg.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Tim.
So discussions are continuing about expanding the Ride LV bus service into Lansing. A lot of discussions with folks at the Guidance Center over the last few months. So again, kind of where it's at right now. They had a bus that was, I think, a 2014 14-passenger bus that was still in good working order. They showed it to me. That's until we're able to get that grant, that's likely the bus that would be servicing the Lansing area. Again, this would be kind of all out of pocket, no grants until they would get approved. So, we'd be paying for the driver, the dispatcher, the app, wrapping the vehicle, gas, maintenance. We would be paying for all of that out of pocket. And the challenging thing that I had mentioned to some of you guys, similar to city staff, there's such a big variance depending on the type of benefits an employee has. If an employee is on a single family plan or a single plan for health insurance, the costs might be X. If the person's on the family plan, it might be X plus $20,000. So we don't know if our out-of-pocket cost is going to be 90,000 or 110 or whatever. So I don't have a finalized number for you yet, but discussions are still taking place. We'll try to have a memorandum of understanding between us and the Guidance Center to you guys at some point. And just a reminder too, because it's called the Ride LV program, and Leavenworth did a great job kicking it off, but the drivers, the dispatchers are employees of the Guidance Center. And then we would be reimbursing the Guidance Center for all of those services. Hopefully next spring is potentially when we would look at expanding this into Lansing. So those discussions are ongoing, and I'll bring that back to you guys at some point. But
Where's the grant? Where's the grant in the process, Tim? Like
I want to say it's
submitted
due,
and waiting.
It's due in the fall,
Okay.
and then I don't think you hear about it for several months after that. And then I think the thing that they had kind of mentioned too, like say you find out you get the grant in summer of 2027, who knows when the new buses would be available. You know what I mean? You might be waiting
Right.
another year for
Yeah.
a bus. But thankfully they do have I think it's a 14-passenger bus. It's like 10 years old, but it's still in very good shape. They still have one of those on site. So, it sounds like they'll be open to letting the Lansing route utilize that. So, but any thoughts on the Ride LV? Any questions on that or?
No, I know they need one.
hope we can
Yeah.
do this. I think it's a service that is desperately needed in our community.
The thing that is challenging, if those future grants aren't received and awarded, paying that much every year would be something that we'd kind of have to figure out. You know what I mean?
I understand that.
So fingers crossed that the grant application is awarded and approved.
And every T will be crossed and every I dotted this time. I know it was a perfect storm last time. No
Yeah.
fault of you guys, but, there was a lot of turnover at the Guidance Center, so.
The Guidance Center and the City of Leavenworth.
Yeah, City of Leavenworth included, so.
But yeah, so that's where that is at. But I think it'll be well utilized, and I think there's a lot of people who are excited about that. So
Just to make sure I heard you clearly, it almost sounds like, so their buses still wouldn't cross into Lansing, and we would have our own dedicated bus that would just serve Lansing and not cross into Leavenworth.
I think they would cross over the borders.
Okay. Right now, they won't cross over, right?
But I think they would want that 2014 bus like it to kind of be the Lansing area, but yeah,
Okay.
they would cross borders and things like that. Yeah.
And so they have a dispatcher in and out, right?
There's a
So
dispatcher
would they
now.
utilize that same dispatcher for Lansing, though?
It'd be the same dispatcher, but we would be contributing to that dispatcher's salary or whatever. But there's a dispatcher, but also there is an app. And I think they try to encourage people to utilize their app, so there's not phone calls and everything. And from what I gather, I mean, I think the app is pretty impressive. Like, you can kind of
is.
see where the bus is in relation to your house, and if it's 3 minutes away, so you know you can
It's a lot like an Uber.
Yes, exactly.
It really is.
You do that with the street
Pretty
car in Kansas
cool.
City.
Yep.
So if we got the grant, we wouldn't need to buy immediately a new bus. We could use that for operational overhead to assist with the dispatch and.
Yeah, I mean, it's my understanding, I think we could continue using the 2014 bus for a few years until we hopefully get that grant for a new bus.
And do you
So, I mean, it would-
reapply for the grant like every year, or just a?
I think you have to apply for it I think there's one for the vehicles, and then I think there's ones for the operations. But so, I mean, ours would look different from the Leavenworth fleet, because I think the Leavenworth fleet's maybe like a 2022 or 2023, so ours would look different. But we would try to have a similar wrap and similar branding. So.
And this is for anybody to use.
Correct, yeah, a person, yeah, anyone. can use it.
$2.50 one way or something. At least that's what it was, I don't know.
Yep.
Well, I think we had sort of focused initially on seniors. Didn't drive or have a car anymore, but it's not limited.
No.
It is not.
Because my understanding is there are people that use it daily to get to work and home.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they didn't have that, that would be an issue for them, so.
Yeah, it'll be a great benefit for the area, for sure. And then one other thing, it's kind of been exciting. I don't know if anyone saw, there's been a drill rig in Town Center. I know it's been a while since we talked about the retail shopping center in council meetings, but the prospect's doing soil samples, and his engineering team is doing work and finalizing everything. I know they reached out to Tony Zell recently about sewer plans. I know they reached out to Chief Gates about our fire codes and things like that. So I want to affirm to everybody that the discussions for the town center shopping area are still progressing. It's just, it's a $30 million project, so I know his bank wants to be sure that all of the prospects are finalized and all the names are on the dotted line. So that's still progressing. Things are happening. Nobody wants to see dirt moved more than Mayor, Josh, and I. But I know he's got to be sure everything is finalized.
And council
for his
members.
bank. And council people, absolutely. So I just want to affirm to you guys, there's still things going on. The fact that he was doing soil samples out there earlier this week is proof of that. But it just, a project of that scale will take a little while, but things are still progressing. So I just want to affirm.
Kim, I'm almost afraid to ask this question. You're just full of it tonight, aren't you?
I've been with my wife all day.
Ew, Lord. Kansas City, Kansas Community College. There was a little bit of a shakeup, so.
So I had reached out to them a while back. I think Mrs. Hatcher maybe has talked to some people too. I mean, I still haven't gotten a definitive answer other than when I had reached out to someone, it was a couple of weeks ago, they just said they would keep us posted. But I don't think there's a formal game plan I haven't been made aware of a game plan.
That's kind of like the checks in the mail response, so.
Yeah, it's tough because not only are they going through a leadership transition, they're opening that brand new campus in downtown KCK, and that's a big deal for KCKCC. But yeah, you add that, and you add the fact that they haven't had a president for the last 7 or 8 months. I mean, it's
Is there a clawback in the contract? Oh, no.
So the second contract, the 3 acres, there is a right of first refusal to the city. I don't believe that is in the first 12-acre contract.
Okay.
But that is in the second, the 3-acre contract, I believe, so.
All right.
Yep.
Well,
That was the additional plot of land.
Correct,
second
yeah.
chunk.
Right.
Correct. So they own 15 acres right
Right,
now.
okay.
And one thing I will say too, though, this isn't anything major, but I mean, the person that we have mow Town Center, they mow that parcel also, and KCC reimburses us. They cut us a check every year to reimburse us for mowing expenses. So I mean, the lines of communication are open.
Great.
It's just they've had a lot of turnover. So, yeah. Yep. And that's all I have.
Thanks, Tim.
And we'll go around the horn, starting with Pete.
I just want to remind everyone that school's going to begin soon, and just asking the citizens to be careful, especially in the school zones. Recently, I was involved in a kind of a road rage incident, and there's just no need for that. If we could just kind of just remember we're all a part of this community, and we should take care of each other. Just be careful out there. That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay. Thanks, Chris.
I posted on my page, and I want to give the Lansing Fire Department another shout out publicly for, coming to the Vacation Bible School basically for St. Francis de Sales. The kids look forward to that every year, and I think I started off by saying it started off dry, ended up soaked because, and it was funny because one of the kids was going to, throw water on us, and it ended up the person that was high up was like, "Oh, you want to play?" And we all got soaked. It was a great time. So thank you, big time. And one of the things that I said then, and I'll say this to you, Chuck, and Chief, I don't want to be seen as that guy that, a problem. I mean, I'm a solutions kind of guy, and I'm offering whatever I have free of charge, and I think, like you said, you're a 2-person show. Anything I can do to help to make us better, I'm all in. Because, that's the whole reason I'm sitting in this seat right now, because I wanted to make sure that we are very safe in this community, because I want people to be like, that's the community I want to come live in. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks. Gary.
Chuck, thanks a lot. You're a good guy, except that whole baser thing, but I overlook it.
I know where your sister lives.
Yeah. Yeah, we still keep her. But seriously, thank you. And also, I don't go to the library a whole lot, but last week, I'm the guy that doesn't get his taxes done on time, so I always do an extension, and I had to go. I couldn't figure out, how do I make this short and succinct? I was trying to finish my taxes and get it sent off to what I owed. I go to the library because there was a glitch, and I was pretty embarrassed actually that I was bothering Terry and who was the young lady that helped? Kristen, who you guys were so helpful, and Terry finally figured it out, and it was. And you'll vouch for me on this, right? It was kind of lucky you figured it out because they did not explain themselves very well, and but it was a real simple fix. But I was there, and we thought maybe it was something to do with the computer. That was because it made it sound like it was to do with the Social Security number, and I put my number in, and then it would put the hyphens in, between it, and that really wasn't problem. But so Terry was helping me. I kept apologizing. She said, "Well, this is what we do. This is what we do." So I was extremely impressed and very thankful. So taxes were due the 31st. It was the 31st. So I was against a deadline, and so I made it by, I think, about 11 hours. No, it was, oh, that's right, it was even 5 o'clock. So I made it like 3 hours, that's right. So, anyway, thank you, Terry. Sorry for rambling.
Is that it? Rebecca?
I'll be co-hosting a car show, Patriotic for Paws, to raise money for laws this year, September 26th, with food trucks. So I'll be sharing that information on social media and putting flyers out.
Cool. Cool. All right, so, Kevin?
Dan, thank you for the update, and Chuck for the informative presentation that you gave. Thank you. And the Lions Club, they do stuff every year and have been doing it for a long time, and it was nice to recognize them. So that's all I have.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Gene?
You got a couple hours a month, you can join. The line. I know it's frustrating with the businesses. I keep telling people it took years to get Quick Trip, and that was not an exaggeration at all. These things take time, and that's just the way it goes. What's the update on Monroe Manor?
I think they submitted building permit plans for, is it 8 to 10 houses? Is that right?
Yeah, we've received the first building permit, we're working through that, and I expect to see a number kind of fly in. And as we work through the process, the reviews are going to get easier, because Dan's going to be familiar with it, and it'll be great. So we are.
Easier. They'll start turning dirt.
Oh yeah, they'll be good to go once we get once they get approval on their plans. So
Just wondering where we were at.
Yep.
That's all I have.
Thank God.
Jake?
Parking lot after the meeting.
He's a pretty big guy. So I spent the afternoon, or I guess most of the day, with Rebecca and Tim and Josh going through the Bittersweet Housing RFQ responses. We received 3 responses. All 3 were strong. All 3 were unique in their own rights. So we're going to think about it this weekend after we interviewed, and reconvene next week, and then should have a recommendation to the council for the meeting on August 20th. And that's for the Bittersweet RFQ by the pool that we talked about. And I was looking at the housing goals as I was thinking about what I was going to say here, and I think everything we looked at today checks a lot of these boxes on here for a range of houses, a range of investments. The city using property we already own that doesn't have any property tax currently as a way to kind of leverage an opportunity. So I'm really excited to get through this and make a decision and have a recommendation to this group.
All right, thanks. Jesse?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay. I have a motion and a second to adjourn. Call the roll.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mrs. Hatcher?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Just because I think everybody's expecting at least one? No.
Mr. Kowalowski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Everyone's adjourned except for Gene. All right.